What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to EP09. Well, the Arnold Classic 2023 is in the history books. The dust has settled in Columbus, Ohio, and the athletes have cleared the stage, and Samson Dauda takes home the Arnold Classic victory.
I don't have words to explain the feeling, so I can't even start. I genuinely can't even tell you, what this feels like, because I've never felt like this before. I've never been more proud of any moment I am right now. It's a lot to take on.
Not only that, but Samson takes home the momentum for the 2023 bodybuilding season, and of course, the $300,000 paycheck. We can't forget that. So look, we went over a lot of this last night. Samson showed up improved at the night show, and between that and his phenomenal structure, that's what won him the show. We can all see the trajectory for Samson. It's clear as day right now. We know the path he's going to take, and we know that this puts him in contention for that Olympia title. So again, congrats to Samson, Milos, Fouad, Hostile. These are all great things, and it makes bodybuilding really more exciting than it's been in recent years. But you know, part of that excitement really came from Nick Walker leading up to this show, as well as Andrew Jack. Now, we do have some reaction from Nick Walker as well as Andrew, and I wanted to recap some of that, but I'm going to start with Nick. I wanted to expand on what I said about Nick in my last video because I've had a few people ask about Nick after taking second place and what he's going to do. So to start, Nick took to his Instagram after his second place finish and he had this to say: "We came in better than the Olympia, improved in all areas we wanted to improve on. I'm really happy with the package we brought, came up a little short, but you know how I do. When I lose, I only come back better." And it's true, he does. So with that being said, where does Nick go from here? What does Nick do? Or what can Nick do in order to come back improved? Is the mass monster freaky muscle era really over? You can't train for aesthetics, right? That's what they say. So what does Nick do? And you know, it's funny when I was reading some of these comments because one loss and people are acting like Nick is done. People are talking like Nick still isn't a future Mr. Olympia, not only contender, but winner. It's like people forgot that Nick won this show in 2021, he won the New York Pro in the same year, and took third at the Olympia. And man, this second place is a big loss. This is not a loss for Nick Walker. I'm sure he feels like it is right now, but the other thing I said in my comment section, and I think this is important, is this: Nick is a true champion. What you do after a loss is what separates a true champion from the rest of the pack. Nick doesn't just talk confidence, Nick embodies confidence. Just look at the updates. Nobody updated us more than Nick Walker during this prep. The pictures, the videos, the questions on his Instagram stories. You know, Nick is there for the fans too. So, in the immediate future, Nick is going to go get some rest. Nick is going to sit down with Matt Jansen, and then they will find a way to come back improved. And Nick was improved at this show. He could not have done any better with the amount of time he had since the 2022 Olympia. Nick's waistline in the front and back shots when he was executing those shots was definitely improved, way more streamlined of a midsection. I don't care about the potential loss of size compared to the Olympia that some people are saying, which I don't think is even that drastic to even consider being a contributing factor to Nick's second place finish. Like I said, he did everything he could possibly do. And if Samson didn't come back with better conditioning at the night show, Nick would have won. We all know that. Now, in terms of specific improvements to his physique, for Nick to thrive in this current aesthetic climate of bodybuilding, Nick needs to get the legs from the front to match the upper body. Nick needs to improve his outer quad sweep at the hip tie-in, and Nick needs to just keep bringing that signature conditioning like he always does. That's what Nick needs. Keep the waist tight, bring up the legs to match the upper body. You'll see Nick win that Olympia title someday. But for right now, congrats to Nick. He's one of my favorite bodybuilders on and off the stage, and he had a great showing. Now, the champion in many people's eyes in this show was actually Andrew Jack. And look, there was no controversy in this decision, you guys. The bottom line is, if Andrew was a bit more filled out, he probably would have passed Nick Walker and Samson Dauda and taken that win. But anyway, before we get into that much further, Andrew took to his Instagram and released his own statement. So Andrew had to say here, "The Arnold Classic 2023 is done and dusted. Game plan was executed. Awesome and tighter in prejudging, slacked a bit in finals. Third place was so well deserved. I'm so happy with the package presented on stage, and I do seriously believe that a drastic change can happen in even just 4 weeks of pure dedicated prep. Nothing is impossible. Well, he definitely proved that. I know I won the hearts of many, and this will help me keep on being better in every other show. Then he goes on to thank, of course, Chris Aceto and Psycho Fitness for an amazing 6-week camp. And it's true, Andrew did win the hearts of a lot of the fans. He's the people's champion of this show, without question. I firmly believe that with 10 more pounds of muscle in the right places, that Andrew is a future Mr. Olympia. Maybe more so even than Samson. With what he accomplished in 1 year, he won the Arnold Classic UK, he won the Texas Pro, he took 8th at the Olympia, and now 3rd at the Arnold Classic Ohio? I mean, tell me this guy won't be a Mr. Olympia someday. We have never seen a structure quite like Andrew jacked in the history of bodybuilding. So with bigger arms and improved legs from the back, it's going to be game over. And you guys know that this is not only going to motivate Andrew to work harder, if that's even possible, but Psycho Lewis is going to be pushing him harder than ever when they get back to training. Because clearly, Andrew is the kind of athlete that needs to be pushed, and he can take it. He took all of the torture, and according to Psycho Lewis, he never questioned anything. He did every rep, every pose, he sat for every minute in that sauna, got down every meal, and he's the true hero of this Arnold Classic. I really do believe that. I'd say Andrew was one of my favorites going into the 2023 season. So we'll see how his rebound turns out, and get ready for his return to the stage to qualify for the 2023 Olympia. So that's it for now, you guys, but there are so many competitors that are yet to take the stage this year. Hunter Labrada, Ian Valier, Michael Crizzo, the Pittsburgh Pro guest posting is coming up in May. You guys, hang on to your hats. This 2023 season, I got a feeling it's going to be one for the record books. I really do. I'll have all the updates for you guys right here. Thank you for tuning into EP09. Be sure to like and subscribe.